Imagine this. You're being watched. Someone out there knows your every move. They know when you're home, when you're alone, what you're wearing. They don't need to follow you because your own phone tells them everything. They call at all hours. They whisper threats. They mock your fear. And when you try to run, when you change your number, your phone, your life, they always find their way back. In 2007, in the quiet town of Fircrest, Washington, 3 families lived that nightmare. Their stalker had no face, no name, only a word.
Restricted.
It began in February. Courtney Kai Kendall, just 16 years old, noticed her phone was acting strange. Text messages were being sent from her number, messages she never wrote. They went to her friends, random, ominous, frightening. Then the phone call started. A low, rasping voice would speak into the receiver, cold, emotionless, terrifying. It would say things like,
I'm going to kill you. Your throat will be slit. Your pets will die.
And then came the details, too specific to ignore. The stalker described exactly what the victims were wearing, when they left the house, where they were going, even the new code to the home's freshly installed security system. In one instance, as a woman stood in her kitchen cutting limes, her phone rang. The voice simply said,
I prefer lemons.
It wasn't just words. It was surveillance. Their phones would turn on by themselves. Ringtones would change. Private voicemails would play recordings of their own conversations. Not conversations made over the phone, but conversations they had in the privacy of their homes. On one occasion, the family heard a recording of themselves speaking with a police detective. A warning followed.
Don't go to the cops.
They did everything right. They changed their numbers. They got new phones. They opened fresh accounts with new providers. But the voice came back. Every time. Sprint's spokesperson at the time, Matt Sullivan, told reporters,
We are unaware of any technology that would allow this to happen.
Even the police were confused. When investigators traced the calls and texts, they all led to one strange conclusion. They were coming from the victims' own phones. Sometimes, even when the devices were completely powered off. At that point, suspicion shifted. Was this a hoax? Was Courtney behind it all? Or was someone close to the family orchestrating the chaos? The other targets were connected to the Kuykendalls too. Courtney's older sister, Darcy Price, and their neighbor, Andrea McKay. But when Courtney's phone was taken away, the calls didn't stop. The stalking continued. Someone or something was still watching. The local authorities were stumped, but surveillance experts weren't. James Atkinson, an electronic surveillance specialist trained by the NSA, said this was all entirely possible. He explained that with the right tools, a hacker could remotely access a phone, turn on its microphone, listen to conversations, even operate the camera without anyone ever knowing. Former FBI agent Brad Garrett weighed in too. He explained the concept of spoofing, where hackers can mask their phone number to appear as someone else's. He even confirmed that more advanced hackers could clone a phone. That meant anything the original user could do, calls, messages, access to apps, the hacker could do too. According to these experts, all it would take is the right software and a very determined mind. But that raised a darker question. Was this the work of an elite hacker, or just a bored kid with too much time and access to the wrong tools? Research from the group wiredsafety.org showed that most cyberbullying among teens didn't come from predators, but from their peers, the kid sitting next to them in class, the ex-friend with a grudge. In the eyes of law enforcement, if this wasn't a hoax, the most likely suspect was a tech-savvy teenage boy, smart enough to break in, cruel enough to keep going. Still, the threats broke serious federal laws, especially those relating to wiretapping and digital stalking. Then, something unexpected happened. Months into the investigation, with media coverage growing and tension at a breaking point, the FBI got involved. And just like that, the call stopped. No arrests, no suspects, no updates. The terror vanished without a trace, as if the perpetrator had never existed at all. Did the hacker lose their nerve once the federal agent stepped in? Did they decide the game was over? Or were they someone far more dangerous than anyone ever imagined? Someone with the skills to hide forever. The case of the restricted caller remains unsolved to this day, and neither the victims nor the authorities have ever given a final statement. The story just disappeared. But the fear never did. Because in an age where your phone knows more about you than your best friend, where it tracks your steps, listens to your voice, stores your secrets, you have to ask yourself, what if someone else is listening too? If this story unsettled you, you're not alone. Subscribe for more mysteries, cybercrimes, and the terrifying unknown. And whatever you do,
Don't ignore the next restricted call.